Hello and happy St. Patty's Day. I am so excited for today's very special style session because we are super lucky to have my friend Ilana here with me. Hi, Ilana. Thanks for
Hi.
coming on. Um, so I brought my good friend Ilana on because not only is she amazing and inspiring, I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. I don't want to stumble over all her amazingness. So, um, just so you know, she's not only my friend, but she's also a mom, like many of us here on this page. And if you're watching this from the Style Rebel Mama group, we're moms, a lot of us working moms, busy moms, on the go moms, and we're still, many of us, stuck at home, right? So today's topic is, I feel, so necessary. Ilana is a passionate, holistic nourishment coach. She is a mom of two, she's a speaker, and an absolute social media marketing badass. I want you guys to follow her all over the place, and she'll tell you where you can follow her in just a little bit. She went from burnt out to badass and helping women take ownership of their health and wellness so that they can step into their own greatness and love their skin, the skin that they're in. As a result of working with her clients, she feels empowered and energized after they've completed, and you complete also, your 30 days of healthy living journey. There's truly never been a better time than now to get started and feel your best inside and out. And that's why, because of how amazing she is, that's why I love having you on. So thank you so much for being on today and for giving me a little pep talk a few minutes ago.
Oh, that was amazing. What an intro. I love that.
so, um, so right before we got started, I was telling you how I've been totally off my routine today and how it just makes me feel overwhelmed and not feeling good and all of that jazz that's not really motivating. And you gave me a great tip that as soon as we get off, I take that half an hour that I have between now when we're off and my next meeting to do what I meant to do this morning, which I'm totally going to do. So, tell us a little bit about, give us some tips. Tell us, why, especially now, it's so important for us women, moms, entrepreneurs to really stick to our healthy habit routines and to have one if we don't have one in place.
Yeah, 100%. This last year has been crazy to say the least, and we've all been impacted somehow, right? Whether it's losing our jobs, maybe working from home, maybe being with our kids 24/7, maybe it's not having access to a gym, whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is, there's an impact, right? And so having healthy habits truly has never been more important than now because you even said it, right? There are days where you might not move your body, or you're drinking too much coffee, or you're not getting enough fresh air, or you're maybe staying up too late, getting too much screen time, right? And there's an impact to all of those, right? They're all choices at the end of the day. They're all habits, whether we realize them or not. And, the goal is to create healthy habits that will basically empower you, right? And energize you, because we have so much more control over our lives than we think we do. It's so easy to play a victim, especially with everything going on right now, right? And to make excuses why you're not moving your body, or why
Mm-hmm.
you're not drinking enough water, or why you're, you know, on your phone too many hours, whatever it is, right? Not getting enough sleep,
Yeah.
not pouring into your self love. And it's so much more convenient to make the excuses than to actually take action, right? To get real with yourself, to do like a little daily self check-in and ask yourself, like, what are the habits that are fueling me, and what are the habits that are keeping me stuck, right? Keeping me where I am and not getting me to the next place, wherever that is, right? So
Right.
really, we, like I said, we have so much more control over our day, whether or not, you could be working from home, you could be a stay-at-home mom right now, you could be online schooling, doing homeschooling with your kids, but there are still elements to your day and your life that you can take ownership of.
Yeah, totally. Um, and just to kind of add to that, like I feel that there are so many distractions too, especially negative ones over the last year that make us feel like we're stuck, like we're limited to things that we can do and we don't really need to be. So I also think that a lot of it has to do with our mindset, which all works together, right?
100%, right? Like you can, for instance, if you're used to working out in a gym, or if you're used to
Mm-hmm.
going for a walk and now you don't have access to a gym, or maybe you're in a lockdown, or maybe you're quarantining, there's still so many ways that you can move your body within your own home, right? You don't need fancy equipment. I just did a reel about this on Instagram this morning, right? Because I woke up really early and I did my morning routine, and we can talk about, that in a sec.
Yeah,
Um, and even if it's for 10 minutes, like I get that we're all busy, right? Most of us don't have the luxury of 2 hours a day to go to the gym every single day, right? That just doesn't happen. And you don't
right.
necessarily need that either. It's enough to just get your heart pumping and the blood flowing and those good hormones kicking in and getting your sweat on, right? And then that carries over to the rest of your day. When you move your body and you're running or sweating or jumping or doing whatever makes you feel good, then
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing how the rest of your day feels so much better, right? You don't have that feeling of
Right.
overwhelm or frustration, and you're probably more patient with your kids, and you probably have better interactions with the people you work with. Maybe it's your husband, right? You're just a better, kinder, nicer human being.
Yeah, totally. So one of the main tips that I give to everyone here, and for those that have been following along have heard this for quite some time, is that for me personally, after I get out of bed, not every day, but many days, I will put my workout clothes on right away. It's like I have to do that in order. And my thing is working out, moving my body in the morning. If I don't, I just end up not doing it. So, and then taking a shower and putting on a real outfit to, if I stay in my workout clothes all day, for somebody has to be on camera a lot, doing Zoom calls with clients and things like that, and I'm constantly on the go and in and out of meetings, it just keeps me motivated. So there is a study behind the psychology of how you dress yourself and how that can make you feel. Um, but in addition to that, what would you suggest? Like, what would be, and I want to get into more of your daily routine, but what would be like if you had to choose one thing that would really make an impact in your day, what would you say that would be?
Oh my gosh, it's
I know that's kind of a loaded question.
and I'll like share a couple of tips just with what you said. I think that if you
Yeah.
break it down even more, um, but I was saying on a call yesterday, the one tip, because there's so many, but the one tip I will share is this: that you cannot pour from an empty cup. And as women and moms and entrepreneurs, we're constantly giving, right? And we're
Mhm.
constantly being forced to put out content or put out our work or show up in a really high vibe kind of way, and it's very depleting and it's very draining.
Mhm.
So making sure you are doing all the things that fill you up, right? For me, it's my morning routine. For me, it's moving my body every day. For me, it's staying super hydrated, clean eating, acts of kindness, reaching out, making connections. Like those are all the things that fill me up. So I have to do those. And it's at a point now where it's not a chore, right? All my
Right.
habits are at a place where they're part of my life, right? It's not like I have to work out and I have to eat clean and I have to remind
Right.
myself. It just becomes pure, and it's purely mindset, right? Like you were saying before. But I'd say my number one tip is to really make sure, if there's like one thing to walk away with and to really focus on this year, is making sure you are taking care of yourself first, right? Because you
Yeah.
won't be able to give
So
to your
true.
kids, give to your business, give to your partner, give to the people around you. I know, because I burnt out several times. There's just no way you can be fully present and really give, and give
Mhm.
yourself, like, in a way that you feel good about, if you're not filling your own cup first, right?
Right. Totally. So what share with us your daily routine. And I want to also also tell us about the things that you use within that daily routine. So, yeah,
Okay.
tell us about
Okay.
all that.
So what you're saying about, making, like, getting dressed into your workout gear before, I would even take it a step further and say prepare your clothes the night before, because how many
Oh,
times,
yeah.
right? Like, does finding clothes become an issue, or it's dark? I wake up before my kids and my husband, and it's like, I don't want to wake them up. So having it prepared the night before, and I'm all about routine and doing everything as organized and orderly as possible. So it's like foolproof. You want to eliminate any possible excuses, because when it's dark outside and you'd rather be in bed and then you have to try and figure out what to wear, it's just another excuse, and you're not going to stick to the habit. So I get my clothes ready the night before. I grab my journal, whatever book I'm reading at the time, and I usually come downstairs. So my goal is to wake up between 5 and 6, because of the time change and it being so dark again. And we were in Mexico for 2.5 months, and it was light
Right.
there so early. I was so used. It was easy to wake up at 5:30, but now that I'm back here, it's a little bit harder. So my goal is between 5 and 6. I wake up, and for that first hour, or however much time I can give myself, it's like just me time. It's pure me time. And it's the most magical hour of my day. I do
Hmm.
my meditation, my gratitude, affirmations, journaling if I feel inspired to. I always read. And none of these things have to take a long time. If you have only 30 minutes or 20 minutes or 10 minutes just for you, take that time, because that'll set the tone for the rest of your day, right? So it's
Right.
so important, right? So that's my first hour or so. And then I will either go for a run or get my workout in. Today I had two workouts because I actually didn't have to take the kids to school. So I did a second workout because I felt like it and I had the time, right? So there's always an element of moving my body, working out. And then depending on if I actually have to go to work or if I'm working from home, the same thing, what you're saying about like showering and dressing up and putting on, like, it changes your energy and your tone
Hmm.
in such a huge way. It's and you're gonna feel better. And there are days totally where my hair is in a bun and I'm in my workout clothes all day, and I know that I'm not showing up as my most, energetic, vibrant self, and that's okay too. You don't have to
Right.
do that every single day if that doesn't feel right for you.
Hmm.
So usually I either, if I'm working from home, then I'll just be doing a whole bunch of these Zooms and lives. And, my breakfast is usually a protein shake, smoothie bowl type thing. I'm pretty much, I'm going to say almost 100%, but not really, like 98% vegan and gluten free. So, I cook clean, whole, fresh food every single day, and that takes up a lot of my time.
Hmm.
And then make sure that I stay super hydrated. So this is my water today, and I added cucumber, um, my herbal teas. I have my protein shakes and my fizz sticks, which I know you love so much as
I
well.
love them. So wait, tell us about the fizz sticks. And last time you came on, I was drinking one at the same time and I ran out. So, but like, you guys, right before we came on, I was telling Ilana how I need to get more fizz sticks. So tell us about the fizz sticks. Tell us where they come from and your protein shakes, all of that, because I know that you are also using an amazing product.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
share a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I mean, with my background in holistic nutrition for 15 years, I've tried many products and many brands, and there's some really amazing brands out there.
Mhm.
This particular brand, Arbonne, came into my life 6 years ago when I was still working full time. The kids were really little, they were like 1 and 4, and that was my second burnout. And I just, my health was really suffering. I was in a really bad place, and somebody just shared what Arbonne was all about with me. The 30 days to healthy living and all the nutrition products. So the protein shakes that I was mentioning, the fizz sticks, and really just, it was the opportunity for me to get my health back on track when I really needed it the most. So I
Mhm.
love the products. I use them on a daily basis. And it's not just nutrition, it's expanded to many other things. So all my skincare, all my hair care,
Right.
body stuff for the kids, and my, like, everything in our house is from this brand. It's all vegan and gluten free. It's certified non-GMO. It's B Corp. It's just like the best of the best, in my opinion, and I love it. There's not a day that goes by that I'm not using at least one of the products. Um,
Right.
and then I've been able to just turn that into a business just by sharing the products and sharing the lifestyle and sharing healthy living with other people, right? So
Mhm.
it's a really beautiful way of living the lifestyle and also being able to represent a brand that you really believe in and stand behind.
Yeah, and I like I said, I've been using the Fistics for I don't know, like a year now maybe. Um as well as I have, oh, it's in my, oh no, I have one of them here. Hold on. So I am loving, absolutely loving. This is the Age Well Moisture Restoring Cream, which has been like so yummy on my skin. It's like literally, it's like putting butter on my skin. It's
Right?
so soft, so smooth. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel like it, clogs my pores. And so I've been using this, and it has vegan retinol alternative in it, which I love. And then I've also been using this, which is the collagen nurturing serum. Let's see
That
if I
is
can.
like
Yeah,
one of my
this
favorites
one is
ever.
awesome too.
Yeah, it's so good.
So two of my favorites, plus the fizz sticks. So okay, so once you get through your morning, so what does the rest of your day look like? Like tell us about, I would love to hear about like lunch, dinner. Um I'm
Depends.
not vegan,
Depends.
but
Yeah.
I do eat a
Depending.
lot of gluten free. Um but I'd love to know, because I know that many people may think I could never be vegan or I could never eat this way. So give us some really like practical tips to
Yeah.
that healthy, holistic eating.
So first I'll say I'm married to somebody who is like a steak and potatoes man. Okay, like if he could have that every single night, he would be so happy, right? Obviously, that's not the case. Uh, Loves meat, and my son who's 7 kind of is the same way, loves meat as well. My daughter not as much. So I don't expect the three of them, and I don't expect anybody for that matter to feel like they need to be vegan, because I don't believe that that is necessarily sustainable. However, I do think that there is a ton of opportunity for everybody to have more of a plant-based diet and lifestyle, right? So
Yeah.
we can all add in more fruits and vegetables and whole grains and legumes and, right, all of those things. It doesn't mean that you have to all of a sudden stop everything that you're doing. I think that we also have just way too much of a dependence on dairy and animal products and byproducts in general. And there's
Right.
a huge environmental impact to that. There's a huge, obviously, a health impact. It creates a lot of inflammation in the body, a lot of mucus buildup. So again, I'm not saying that everybody needs to be vegan. That's not what
Hmm.
I'm saying. But I think that if you really, like, again, it's part of healthy habits, and so much of our, like, so much of what we eat dictates how we feel, our energy, our mood. And so if we really just take a look at what we are consuming, right, where it's coming from, maybe ask ourselves to just do a little check-in, like take a week and maybe jot down every single thing that you're eating, right? If you go see a nutritionist, this is typically what you do, and try and make
Mm-hmm.
connections between what it is you're eating, the impact that you feel. Maybe it's just, maybe you don't even realize that you get a headache, you know, within like a few minutes of having a coffee, because that's how it is for me. I'm so sensitive, right? And I can notice the difference or how I feel pretty much immediately, right? So I would start with that. Um, Depending on my day, if I'm working out, then I have a shake with me that's already ready to go, and I have that usually at some point during the day. Um, if I'm working from home, then typically it's leftovers as well. I have like a ton of salads. It's the winter time still, so there's always a soup. And soups are probably the easiest thing to start with because you don't actually need, like, I don't use chicken stock. All my soups are pureed. So right now I made butternut squash, red lentil soup, and I pureed them all. And the kids love them, right? So if you're going to start with one thing, if you want to incorporate one maybe vegan meal per week, or don't even tell your kids, right? They don't even need to know.
Right.
And just they love it, and they would never know. Or I use a lot of coconut milk to make
Mm-hmm.
things creamy, right? So there are definitely ways that you can add more plant-based, vegan. Desserts are really easy these days. You can go to any supermarket and find alternatives to pretty much everything. Like everything I
Mm-hmm.
bake is all vegan and gluten-free, so that's easy. It's more of like the meal. So I wouldn't just completely go vegan overnight. I would transition it slowly and start adding in, right? Because naturally we go to a place of feeling like we're totally restricted, and then we feel over,
Right.
and it's like, okay, well, what am I going to eat, right? So instead of having that mindset, start with adding in, right? Maybe adding in vegan soups. Maybe it's like different dips. Maybe it's a salad. Maybe it's a dessert here and there. And then you consistently build that up until you get to a place where you have like a good repertoire of what you can kind of cycle through. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, my kids eat eggs and they eat fish once in a while, and I'm certainly not raising them to be vegan. I just know for
Mm-hmm.
myself what feels good and what aligns with me. Plus, I'm representing a brand that is vegan and gluten free, so for me, it feels right. Um,
Right.
those are pretty much my tips on how to get started.
um, what about does Arbonne, or are there resources within Arbonne that if somebody was interested in, having more of a guide to help them? I know I think the 30-day reset, right? Like helps you get there, kind of kickstart it.
Yeah.
So yeah, tell us about that.
So that's pretty much what it's about. I tell people all the time, this is not a diet. This is not about calorie counting. This is not about, you know, thinking you need to lose weight. Like, it's not about that. It's about sustainable, healthy living, right? So we take 30 days. And for a lot of people, they've never done anything like this before. And then we have people
Right.
all the way, like across the spectrum, to professional Olympic athletes who do this because they know how good and how much they better perform when they're eating really clean, they lower inflammation, right? They're doing all the things, right? So it's really customizable, and it's like a great approach for anybody and everybody. So for
Mm-hmm.
30 days, we focus on clean whole food eating, right? We show people, we have a Facebook group where we have meals and recipes, and I go live every week a few times. Like today I do a yoga meditation session. We have somebody who does like mindfulness. We have somebody that's a personal trainer. So we really have a very holistic approach. And it's saying,
Mm-hmm.
it's saying to people, like, take 30 days and let's get you on track with your healthy habits. Replace some of your unhealthier habits, like maybe having a fizz instead of a coffee, right? Having a protein
Yeah.
shake instead of a coffee and a donut on your way to work, right? And start to see how you feel. And naturally, right, you'll realize that that addiction you have to sugar and maybe caffeine and maybe wine isn't actually serving you, right? It's not to say you can never have those things ever again, but it's
Mm-hmm.
just allowing your body to kind of slow down a little bit and
Yeah.
it's like you start to feel the energy naturally in your body that's not dependent on coffee or sugar or refined carbs, right? And when you tap into that natural energy that you feel and your digestion starts working properly, it's amazing. It's just you feel like on top of the world, right? And so that's really where it starts from. And then it continues beyond the 30 days, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's basically become my lifestyle. So I do all the things. I don't necessarily, stick to it 100% of the time, but it's basically like your framework for how to live a sustainable, clean, healthy, happy life, right? And it's an amazing thing. And the transformation that people go through, I talked about the energy, how much it helps clear up your skin, your sleep improves, that mental
Mm-hmm.
fog that most of us have, that starts to go away. So it's just a really, really great way to reset.
That's awesome. I have to say that when I started the fizz sticks, because I used to drink on some days I would drink 2 cups of coffee a day. And there were even times that maybe even a third was in there somewhere. But since I started the fizz sticks, I still have my one in the morning, and then it's the fizz stick later in the day. But um, even running out of the fizz stick, I haven't gone back to having a second cup a day. So I just really miss the fizz stick.
So
um,
good. They're so good.
yeah, they absolutely are. So, is there anything else that you'd like to share, and especially regarding the reset, because I think right now it's really important to just to consider changing something in
Yeah.
your life if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're not feeling energetic, if your mind feels foggy. I'm always the type that, if something's not working, why keep doing the same thing? So
Right.
yeah.
I would say this, if nothing changes, nothing changes, right? It's so
Hmm.
easy to feel like you're stuck on this hamster wheel, like you don't have choice, right? Because that's kind of our default mindset, right? Where we're just going
Hmm.
through them. And I get it because I was in that place for a long time too. So I totally get where a lot of people are coming from. But to know that you have a lot more control over how you show up, your energy, how you feel, who you let influence and inspire you. I think setting healthy boundaries is a huge part of this conversation as well. Um,
Yeah.
and I would say that, now is the time, right? There's always going to be an excuse why now is not the right time, right? Maybe you want to wait
Right.
till next month or start on Monday or when your kids are out of the house or when you have more money, right? Those are all convenient excuses that our ego just tells us ourselves to kind of keep us exactly where we are. But you have nothing to lose, right? Why not now?
Right.
Right? If you have a reason to feel more energized and to have better, clear glowing skin and to be more present for your kids and for your
Hmm.
business and for your family, then why not now?
Right. Love it. So, is the reset info right on your website if they click on that link, or is there another link for it?
They'll have to find it somewhere, like scroll through, but it's there. It's all there.
It's there. Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. So thank you all. If you have any questions for Ilana and you're watching this on the replay, don't be shy. Drop them down below. We will definitely check in and have her get back to you, or I will get back to you. And thank you guys for watching today. I will see you next Wednesday. I'll see you guys soon. Bye, guys.